Not all women seek love. Some seek leverage. This is a truth few men to accept, and fewer still survive unscathed. The world of courtship is a battlefield concealed beneath smiles and soft hands. While many women are genuine in affection, some have learned to weaponize attraction for personal gain. These women are not concerned with connection, trust, or the ideal of mutual devotion. Their gaze is fixed on advantage, and they are trained in the art of influence. Where a man sees romance, she may see access. Where he sees commitment, she sees control. A woman seeking leverage is not loud or crude. She is refined in her methods, silent in her conquest. She doesn't take power by force. She lures it into her hands. She studies a man's ambitions, his insecurities, and his need to be admired. She plays to his ego, feeds him just enough fantasy to keep him blind to reality. She will show interest not in his character, but in his connections. She will praise his potential, but only to position herself near his success. This is not affection, it is alignment. A strategy disguised as sentiment. She understands the currency of male desire and uses it with precision. Attention becomes a leash, intimacy a negotiation, and silence a punishment. She withdraws warmth when she senses rebellion and showers affection when she detects submission. Her interest will wax and wane according to how much utility you offer her. Your value is not measured by who you are, but by what you can provide. Status, lifestyle, influence, even protection from her own mediocrity. You become a pedestal she climbs, not a partner she cherishes. If you cannot see the signs, you will confuse her ambition for love. You will rationalize her coldness as mood swings, her demands as standards, her manipulation as passion. You will give more, thinking it will fix her distance. You will sacrifice your goals to keep her near, unaware that you are merely a stepping stone to her next advantage. And when you are drained, disoriented, and discarded, she will move on without remorse. The game was never love, it was acquisition. In every age, women like this have existed. They adapt to the climate of power. In ancient courts, they seduced kings. In modern times, they seduce opportunity. They understand the social fabric better than most men because they are trained from youth to be socially lethal. They know how to smile in defeat, cry in victory, and lie without hesitation. Their charm is their weapon, and their innocence is their armor. The more naive you are, the easier the conquest. The more desperate you are for connection, the more predictable your decisions become. To them, the relationship is not a union. It is a transaction. The currency may be emotional, financial, or reputational, but a currency it remains. And once you are no longer profitable, your worth dissolves in her eyes. You were never loved, you were rented, and your time is up the moment you question the terms. Emotions are tools, not truths. In the hands of the cunning, feelings become instruments of control, not windows to the soul. The man who takes a woman's emotion at face value is a man who walks blindfolded into a trap. Some women have mastered the art of performance. They cry without sorrow, smile without joy, and pretend vulnerability where none exists. It is not deception for cruelty's sake. It is calculation. They understand that emotion influences action. If they can shape what you feel, they can shape what you do. A well-timed tear can override logic. A sudden burst of affection can erase weeks of disrespect. A silent treatment can make a man question himself, beg for forgiveness, or surrender his authority. These tactics are not accidental. They are learned, refined, and used with precision. The man who believes every emotional display is sincere is a man who hands over the reins of power. He reacts, she controls. He comforts, she commands. She decides when he feels guilty, when he feels needed, when he feels wanted, and when he feels small. In this dynamic, love becomes a stage, and she becomes the playwright. The more dramatic the performance, the more convincing the illusion. She knows how to stir sympathy in public and manipulate perception in private. If accused, she plays the victim. If challenged, she accuses with tears. If cornered, she weeps to disarm. Emotion is not just felt, it is used. Some women are not interested in truth. They are interested in outcomes. And emotion is the shortest path to bending a man's will. She may praise you with admiration not because she respects you, but because she needs something. Security, forgiveness, access. She may act hurt not because you've harmed her, but because she wants to delay accountability. Every sigh, every silence, every dramatic exit may serve a purpose more strategic than emotional. She is not lost in her feelings. She is guiding yours. She wants you to doubt yourself while never questioning her. She wants you to act out of guilt, not reason. Emotion becomes a whip that strikes without leaving visible wounds. This kind of woman thrives on reaction. She does not win through confrontation. She wins through confusion. If she can keep you guessing whether she loves you or despises you, whether she's loyal or disloyal, she can keep you entangled. Uncertainty becomes a battlefield. While you attempt to decode her feelings, she advances her position. You lose time, sleep, focus, all while she gains influence. She may not raise her voice, but she raises your anxiety. She may not speak plainly, but she makes you act. You begin to live in response to her moods, and in doing so, you abandon your center. She does not need truth to win. She needs only belief. If she can convince you she is suffering, you will bend. If she can convince she is fragile, you will protect her, even from your own instincts. What she cannot achieve through merit, she achieves through emotion. And once you are conditioned to react, she has no need to explain. She merely signals. You obey. The illusion of innocence is a weapon. There exists a type of woman who understands that purity, softness, and vulnerability are not merely traits. They are disguises. These are not signs of weakness, but calculated tools of influence. She learns early that appearing harmless invites trust, and trust is the gateway to power. Her voice is soft, her demeanor gentle, her eyes wide with seeming honesty. But beneath that calm surface lies strategy. The more innocent she appears, the less you suspect her motives. The less you suspect, the more you surrender. And what you surrender is rarely recovered. She understands how men respond to visual signals. Men protect what they perceive as delicate. They trust what they perceive as pure. She walks through life not as a threat, but as a mirror reflecting a man's fantasies. She becomes the image of what he most desires, untouched, sincere, submissive. But behind the mask, she is anything but. She studies your habits, your emotional triggers, your values. She watches how you react to sadness, how you handle silence, how you respond to charm. She learns how to disarm without force, how to provoke without raising her voice. This illusion gives her immunity. No one suspects the quiet one. No one questions the girl who always smiles, who always seems to do the right thing. While others scheme with open aggression, she conquers with soft silence. She avoids confrontation not out of fear, but out of intelligence. She knows the battlefield she chooses, your mind. She does not argue for power, she waits for you to give it freely. And because she never threatens you directly, you never recognize the loss until it's too late. Her greatest strength lies in her ability to be underestimated. The world sees her as a victim, a saint, a harmless figure in need of protection. She cultivates this perception because it is the shield behind which she advances. When she lies, she is believed. When she betrays, she is defended. When she causes damage, others blame the situation, not her. She wears the mask of the innocent to gain access to what sharper women are denied. Her presence is non-threatening, so doors open. Her demeanor is non-confrontational, so men lower their guard. She never needs to seduce with her body when she can seduce with her image. Her danger lies not in what she shows, but in what she hides. The more she hides, the more men project onto her. They create fantasies in their minds. She lets them. They think they are discovering her. In truth, they are following a path she designed. Each gesture, each pause, each gentle laugh is a calculated step, not toward affection but toward control. The more virtuous she appears, the more devastating her betrayal. And when the mask finally slips, it is often too late. By then, reputations are ruined, loyalties are broken, resources are drained. And still, she will walk away untouched, defended by the very illusion that allowed her to rise. Innocence, when false, is not harmless. It is lethal. A man without discipline is a servant. The moment a man allows his desire to lead him, he loses command of his own life. He becomes a pawn, easily moved by beauty, flattery, or attention. Some women recognize this weakness and exploit it without mercy. They do not need to force submission when seduction accomplishes the same result. A man driven by lust, validation, or loneliness will trade his ambition for a smile, his strength for affection, his judgment for approval. He will convince himself he is in control, while every decision he makes revolves around her presence. Discipline is the armor of a man. Without it, his mind becomes scattered, his priorities distorted. He chases the woman who excites him instead of the one who respects him. He confuses attention with affection, submission with loyalty. His hunger for intimacy blinds him to the tactics used against him. He will ignore red flags, overlook disrespect, rationalize manipulation, all because he wants to keep her close. He believes that giving more will earn her love, but what he fails to see is that the more he gives without boundaries, the less he is valued. A disciplined man is not without desire. He simply refuses to let it dominate him. He knows that indulgence without control is the road to ruin. He does not fall for a woman because she is beautiful. He watches how she behaves when she is denied. He does not trust words whispered in the dark. He observes how she acts when the lights are on. He tests her consistency, her loyalty, her silence. He understands that a woman's interest is often strongest when a man stands firm, not when he kneels. But the undisciplined man is easy prey. He brags about how much he spends, how much he sacrifices, how far he will go to keep her happy. And in doing so, he teaches her how to use him. He creates his own chains. She learns that she can withdraw affection to punish, promise affection to reward. She becomes the master of his mood. If she is pleased, he feels worthy. If she is cold, he feels worthless. His emotions, his actions, his very identity become tethered to her approval. This is not love. It is servitude, and it is chosen. A man who cannot walk away cannot lead. A man who cannot say no has already lost. He believes he is winning her over, but she is testing his limits. She pushes, waits, and watches. Each time he compromises, she records the weakness. Each time he breaks his own code, she sees the outline of his leash. He is no longer a man, he is a utility. A tool for her convenience, discarded the moment he no longer fulfills the function. What makes a man valuable is not how much he gives, but how firmly he stands. When discipline is absent, the woman becomes the king and he becomes the subject. Not through force, but through his own surrender. What he calls love is often addiction. What he believes is devotion is dependency. Test loyalty when it's inconvenient. A woman's true character is not revealed in moments of ease, but in the storms of discomfort, uncertainty, and loss. When all is well, affection flows freely, words are sweet, and support appears sincere. But comfort is deceptive. Many can perform love when circumstances are favorable. The test of substance begins when sacrifice is required, when power shifts, when the future grows uncertain. It is in those moments that masks crack and loyalties are revealed for what they are, either genuine or transactional. A woman who is with you for status, protection, or personal gain will show signs the moment those things are threatened. If your influence fades, so will her warmth. If your income drops, so will her respect. If your authority is challenged, she will hesitate to stand beside you. She may not leave immediately. She may linger to assess whether your fall is temporary, but her actions will change. Her tone will harden. Her admiration will turn to criticism. What once felt like loyalty now feels like evaluation. She is calculating risk, not expressing devotion. The man who only watches a woman when he is winning learns nothing. He sees the version of her that wants to be seen. He is flattered by her presence, encouraged by her praise, blinded by her charm. But he never stops to ask what happens if the winds change. Will she defend him in absence of reward? Will she stay if the benefits disappear? Most do not ask because they are afraid of the answer. But the truth hides in discomfort, not in comfort. Loyalty is a rare currency. It cannot be faked under pressure. It is proven through endurance. The woman who loves you only when you are strong is not loyal. She is opportunistic. She draws her identity from your achievements, not your essence. When those achievements falter, so does her connection to you. She is not with you. She is with the image of you, the advantages you bring. Remove them and the relationship dissolves like smoke. To test loyalty is not cruelty. It is strategy. Introduce doubt. Withdraw benefits. Observe reactions. Does she accuse? Does she withdraw? Does she seek other options? Or does she remain steady, unwavering, even when there is nothing to gain? These are the moments that reveal truth. Silence is louder in discomfort. Behavior is clearer when masks are dropped. If her presence remains consistent when you offer nothing, then perhaps you have found something rare. But if she shifts with the tide, then you have seen what she truly values. And it was never you. It is not enough to hear words of love. Anyone can promise forever in the warmth of success. What matters is action when that warmth disappears. Most men skip this test, preferring the illusion of harmony. But the man who is wise understands that adversity is not just a trial of self. It is a trial of those around him. And it is better to face truth early than to discover betrayal late. Most men are taught to seek love, but few are taught to defend themselves against its weaponized form. Not every woman desires connection. Some desire conquest. They will not strike with a blade, but with beauty, with silence, with praise used as bait. They do not raise their voices. They raise your hopes only to seize control the moment you let your guard down. To survive this reality, a man must shade his illusions. He must view emotion with suspicion, charm with scrutiny, and affection with strategy. What is disguised as innocence may be manipulation. What appears as loyalty may be dependence. And what feels like love may be a transaction dressed in poetry. A man who lacks discipline, who lives for approval, who chases validation is no leader. He is prey. The moment you make your desire louder than your judgment, you become useful to those who see love as leverage. You become predictable, controllable, disposable. If you want to keep your power, test those who stand beside you. Withdraw, observe, and remain still. The truth will speak in the silence. The loyal will endure discomfort. The opportunist will vanish. Every man must learn this before it costs him everything: his time, his mission, his soul. In the end, the world does not pity the knave. It consumes them, and no woman respects a man she can rule.